It's Monday the 28th of August today. You can see that over the years trees here have fallen down. Oh, there's my tinfoil. Waiting for the next round of potatoes in the fire. This is a layer of bark that I've stacked here on top of this old dead branch that must have fallen down years and years ago. There's a big cake of mud there from floods. It must have taken several floods to get that silt to lay on that branch that fell down. And as you can see, that at least one of the sprouts from the branch grew up into a tree here, and then another 10 feet away, another branch is basically a tree on its own over here, and I'm sure it has roots going down into the mud. And this type of thing happens often here. You can see back there's another one that fell down, and it happened a few years ago. I showed you where I pulled out everything for the snake mound here. Everything that's off of that branch that went way up into here fell down into this area, and I took most of the small branches and made the snake mound out of that. So what I'm going to show you next is kind of slightly devastating for me for two reasons. Number one, it's blocked off the entrance to my main mound. It has not really hit the mound too hard, but I'm worried about my Cornelian cherry or Darren plant. And also, I think that the habitat for the bats has just been destroyed, and I will show you exactly why right now. This happened during a very, very, very violent storm on Saturday. Yes, you can see this tree is laying down. Kind of recognizable would be that bush right there. Not the tall trees back there. There's bees flying around me, sorry. This bush is the one that's right at the entrance, and the entrance is literally underneath all these willow branches. If you look down here, there's my so-called fish trap that I never ever used, and I just built for fun out of old vines, out of trees. It's been toppled over. So the entrance to my first garden is right there. You cannot see it because of all of the willow branches and willow leaves. So, and this is where all of the bats used to live, and right now, no sound. This one even has cobwebs in it, so there's no bats in there for sure. So this used to be stuck up in the air, right above me, way up there. So what this has done is basically given my center garden much more light. That's great. But now I have this huge dang obstruction here. And I don't know, if I leave it, maybe it'll keep sprouting and grow more branches. I don't really necessarily want this thing right here. But there's really not much holding on. It's pretty much frayed apart. I can show you from the other angle here. It's really, really broken down in here. You can see where it used to stand up into there and fell basically on my garden. The other interesting point is that I was going to come out here and stay the night. And I mean, more than likely I would have been in the garden itself. But imagine, had I been sleeping in a tent, inside of this central garden, and this damn thing fell down. How scary that would have been. So luckily, the fact that I did not come out here might have saved my life. I might have decided that the grass was too high in there and decided to put my tent out here, but thought, oh no, those stinging nettles are too high. And this looks like really nice grass here, and I really had a lovely, lovely little short lawn going on right underneath where this tree fell, so it's possible I might have decided to set my tent up there. I don't know. Anyway, very, very unsure how to handle this one, because that's a major log. That's not something I can handle. I can't drag that thing around. It's going to be here for a while. So I guess the first order of business is just knock off the side branches that I can to get back to the center of my garden. And after that, I don't know. I guess it might just live here until it rots away enough that I can break it up and build another mound with it, or cart it away, use it for firewood. I do like the fact that it's opened up this patch of sky, though. See that kind of roundish area up there? That's where this used to block off that light from the mountain. As you can see here, where the sunlight is hitting, that was always blocked off by this branch this early in the morning. It's about 10:30, so that means more light's going to come to the mound. My first casualty of the summer is this pumpkin, the one I showed you in the video last time. It snapped off the vine in that storm. I didn't expect that to happen, but you never know what's going to happen in the wind. A lot of devastation here in the garden. I can see that things have slumped and sunk and hit by the wind. This pumpkin is all out of whack. Looks like most of the flowers broke off or were eaten off, but I doubt they were eaten off because there are spikes up and down where the flowers would have been, so they were just blown off. There's a few more buds, and I saw quite a few other things growing. The most devastating thing, though, is my bats. Really. I mean, that was great bat habitat. I'm sure there are 1,000 other woodpecker holes and other trees around here that bats live in, and you know, look at the size of this mushroom growing on this tree here. Crazy. But the bats, I used to hear them chirping all the time. Wow, look at this right there. There's a place where a woodpecker hole actually sealed up. An old woodpecker hole sealed up with bark. That's pretty amazing. But yeah, now I have no immediate bat family. They even pecker into old mushrooms. I'm still holding the pumpkin. Let me set that down. And set that pumpkin that fell off down. I'm going to cook and eat that thing even though it's immature. Here's a woodpecker pecked area, and they were pecking the crap out of this. Look at that. You can see why the woodpeckers were really interested in that area. I wish I knew what it was. Maybe there's some in here. Well, this is like, look at this. This is like, that's not even wood anymore. That's just, you could make paper out of this. It's that pulpy. So these things are what make these trees fall down, not the woodpeckers. The woodpeckers are just trying to kill them. Anyway, further down the tree, which is interesting, you don't see that happening. There's not a center mass of wormy wood. It's not wormy wood in here at all. It's beautiful. It's clean. It's solid, but you can see rot on the bottom. And I don't know if that's caused by the level of the soil increased during flooding. That makes it rot out at the bottom, but it definitely rotted on the bottom and made it weak. Anyway, you can see there are no wormholes. This is at eye level, and all the way up, as far as you can see, no wormholes there, so some sort of bottom rot helped that tree to break, and the weak stuff at top breaks off because of those worms or whatever it is inside there. Alright, probably not going to get much done today because, well, I mean, not much done, but I'm going to try to do as much as I can do. It's just insane the amount of work I would have to do to clean this mess up. How am I going to do that? You tell me.